Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Shimakaze, a Tier 10 Japanese destroyer. Also, we are currently running at increased speed because for now all I'm gonna do is just dodge, I guess. So I'm on the map Tears of the Desert. It's a standard battle and there is a carrier. And the carrier has found me. Thankfully he isn't very good at dropping. So there is that, but he's also keeping me detected, so all I can do is run here in circles, and of course, you know, he just keeps attacking me. There is nothing I can do against it other than hope that he's going to miss, while also trying to dodge the shells, because I'm spotted. And it's also the reason why I'm so far in the back here right now, because I saw the planes coming and I tried to avoid them, which obviously you can't because they're fast. And ever since then I've spent the whole time just dodging. Now, we've survived for now. The planes may or may not be back, and we can go back to a more normal speed. And I can actually start playing this game. For now. So I'm launching some torpedoes against the Hanover, which is sort of coming this way, but I'm afraid it's already turning, so probably not gonna get many hits. Meanwhile, there is a Harugumo coming around. Now, of course, I don't really have that much support here. My team is still a little bit in the back here. I do have a smoke though, right? If I run into this Harugumo, I might have to smoke. Now, I had spotted. The problem is because of the island, I'm not sure how close it is. So I'll have to be relatively careful here. There is also the Hanover coming in from the side. And I suspect it's going behind like the big island and then trying to somehow get Oh no, it's not behind the big island. It's not behind the big island. Now, it's inconceivable. Again, I could smoke here, right? But I think yeah. This island is a bit jolly with vision. I've got some torps off because obviously it's gonna come around here and oh, is it slowing down? Now I'm gonna smoke because I need to be undetected or the Hanover will wreck me. And yeah, that's a good start. That was a good start. Now I could actually slow down here and then use my smoke to shoot the Hanover a bit. Of course, the Hanover is actually getting closer and it has hydro, so maybe not. And I'm on a turn, I have torps ready soon. Now, technically, I can also shoot the Hanover just from behind my smoke. There's a certain risk because things could still spot me. Like, my things are mostly mean planes, right? Right now, we can see the planes are on the other side of the map, though, so I should be fine. Unless he, like, recalls those and then launches new ones and comes straight at me without me noticing. But unless that happens, I should be fine here. We're gonna launch some torps. I kinda expect him to turn. I'm just not sure how quickly he is. So that's why I'm launching... direct at the white line. I expect him to, you know, make this turn there and... I'm afraid, though, he's turning a bit faster than anticipated, so my torps are probably off. I mean, he's probably hydroing anyway and sees them coming. Now, what would be really nice here would be a fire. There is a fire. Now it's gonna get damage con, and now I need a follow-up fire, right, to finish him off. Yeah. See, the torp's getting pretty close, but not close enough. If I'd launched my second launch better, maybe. I have some more torps in 13 seconds. I'm not sure if this Hanover will survive this long. Now, here is where I'm playing with fire. Because I can't, like, you can see here the smoke timer when my smoke disappears. But, you know, I'm not sure, yeah, when the path right in front of me disappears. Now, the good news is I got my fire with that last salvo. The bad news is the smoke in front of me disappeared, right? This path here obviously lasted longer, but I had no indication how long the one directly in front of me lasted that I was using. And so I got caught out, and I'm paying a very heavy price here. That was so much damage I took, I'm not sure it was worth it. Now, I did get the fire, mind you. You could argue that my team might have sunk the ship anyway, and my fire wasn't needed. And the planes are coming again. I need to run. So... maybe I was a bit too greedy. The sheer amount of damage I took for being spotted this briefly was pretty immense. And if I had more hit points left, I could easier survive, for example, being plane spotted. Now the good news is the carrier is coming for the gearing and not for me. So I'll probably be fine for now. This Yodo, on the other hand, is hopefully not fine. Our Yamato is... yeah, okay, it's not entirely wrecking it. But the next salvo should take it down. Now there is very little chance that I need to torpedo this Yodo, right? But on the other hand, there is nothing really close to me. When you look at the minimap, everything is very far away. So it's not like I really need those torps. And in the sheer... I don't know, unlikely case that the Yamato somehow fails to sink the Yodo. And I suppose the Ukashov and the Brisbane are there too. Although I don't really have much hope for the Ushakov because it's been in the very far back the entire time, I think. And it's a T11 battleship. Let's see, is it full health? Yeah, it's not full health. It actually took a little bit of damage at least. It's still way too passively positioned to be at help on any side. Now, speaking of passively positioned, our carrier is in J1. And while on the bright side he is not suiciding in any way, it could be a little bit better position. And somebody in the team is very vocal about that, like this... the Annapolis, that has already been sunk, is just very angry with our carrier sitting there. Now, what I would be more, concerned about is that our carrier isn't spending a lot of time trying to find those destroyers and we have no idea where they are. Now, I was busy on the other side and I'm coming more towards the center now. See, I'm a bit low on health though, right? And the Yamagiri has the same concealment as I do. Even worse, the Yamagiri has burst fire. So if I find the Yamagiri right, it could burst fire. And like even if I disappear in smoke, it's gonna get that one burst off. And if I'm really unlucky, that burst might just be enough. Although it has to be a bit lucky for one burst to sink me, I think. Now, Annapolis is somewhat getting closer. It looks like Annapolis might be... The Annapolis has an island in front of it, right? It can go around north or south. Currently, the way it's turning, I think it might be going around south. So we're gonna use one launcher, right? Just in case it does. Then we'll try the Vermont. I mean... it's a full health battleship, so it's probably gonna turn away again and run, but in the off chance that it doesn't, I'll send it some fish. Now here is once again where I'm trying to be careful. I'm probably tracking the Vermont, but, we don't know where the oh, RPF just switched. Okay, so I was tracking the Vermont and I'm no longer, so there is something. Probably the Yamagiri. There's also the Holland, mind you. We haven't seen either of those in a while. And our carrier, for some reason, is attacking the enemy carrier, which is a giant waste of time, because he's not going to sink that. And I don't think the spotting will do much, because, well, the Ukachov is the only one who could really, shoot it back there. And there it is. I found the Yamagiri. Now, the good news is it's not on full health. The good news is I'm also avoiding those torps. Bad news is it knows it has a... It definitely knows it has a burst fire. And the burst fire was almost enough to sink me, but not quite. Now I have Brisbane behind me. And the Brisbane is going to radar, which means I can at least get a few salvos into this Yamagiri and get a little bit of revenge. Also, we saw its torpedoes earlier. I think we saw all of them. So... I won't need to dodge any. Like, if it had all of its torps ready, I couldn't sit full broadside here, right? Because if 3 sets of torps come my way, I would have no chance of surviving. But with the torps on cooldown, I was able to just pew-pew it a bit. Now, those torpedoes are in case the Yamagiri pushes through here, which might happen. And I have another set, because obviously I don't know the time. I mean, I don't even know if the Yamagiri is gonna go through here, right? It could be joining the Annapolis and could go the long way around. Would just be waiting behind this island a bit. Now, what I could also do here at this point is try to go for the enemy camp. Oh, and there is the Annapolis coming this way, so I'm gonna launch some fish here. So 2 issues here, right? If I go into this camp, well, they know I'm inside the camp and the carrier will hunt me, potentially. And the Annapolis is coming this way, so the Annapolis might be just pushing in here far enough to radar me. Now my last set of troops that I launched against Annapolis, maybe I should have tried the Vermont instead. But the Annapolis is a bigger threat to me, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Vermont turns around and runs anyway. That's all the Vermont seems to be doing, is running away from everything. So, troops are getting close to the... Oh, am I actually getting a torpedo? I think I am. It's reversing. Nice. So, carrier. Finish it. Finish it. There we go. Now, of course, our carrier could have spotted the enemy destroyers in the last 10 minutes, which would have probably stopped it from now being spotted by said destroyers that have very obviously come into our camp. Now, I'm gonna go back here to help defend. The issue is I have 1,290 hit points. And the enemy destroyers have a few more. Even worse, while I'm outspotting the Halland by a little bit, I'm not outspotting the Yamagiri. But what I can do is, right, I can launch some torpedoes here. Now, those destroyers are gonna maneuver in some way or form. Which means any torpedoes launched their way are a bit of a gamble. But I do have a smoke ready now, right? So what I can do is I can now smoke and use the carrier spotting to shoot them. Because while our carrier didn't want to spot them earlier, now that has them like right in front of his face, he's taking an interest. Ooh, that was a good salvo. Now, those destroyers might be coming for me, they might be torpedoing my smoke, but there really isn't much else I can do. I can't, like, I'm just too low on health to pick a fight when I'm visible. So, all I have here is... Oh, no, I'm not gonna top this, Alan. That's a shame. All I can do here is take the spotting. Yes, the Yamagiri is visible, and now it's trying to blind shoot me here with a burst fire. Probably not the worst choice, thankfully it missed. And I can take care of the Yamagiri at least. Now, I do have my Brisbane coming in here to help. That is good news. There is the radar. Nice. Oh, there are the torps. So, oh, there is a gap. Maybe I can make the gap. Alan is getting close. Oh, this is gonna be close. And I dodged! I dodged. Now, I only got in the last hit into the Halland. Somebody else helped there as well. So with our powers combined, we actually got it. And I live! I live! Now, of course, I need to continue living for this to be a win, potentially. So, I'm gonna increase the speed here a bit, because this game is 4 minutes until it's over. But I'm on very low health. If the carrier finds me, it can easily destroy me. And if it spots me, like, it just has to spot me right. Also, it's like a Richthofen. It's not like Brisbane. Anti-air can stop the carrier from dropping me. And then there is always the spotting and the spotting for the Venezia. The Venezia is obviously going to move in, because the only chance the Venezia has is to sink something, so it needs to push us. Now, our carrier is getting on low health, and... well, our Brisbane is still pretty healthy. I don't think the Venezia is going to one-shot it or anything. But the thing is, I need to try to be unspotted while I feel like be in a position to torpedo if the Venezia pushes in. But for some reason the Venezia has given up. And I guess we just win. Oh. So I was expecting the Venezia to push in, right? So my goal was to not be spotted and to try to at least get some torps towards the Venezia in case we need the kill. Our carrier was getting low, so that could have been an issue. But thankfully the enemy Venezia just gave up and decided to not engage, so... Oh, and you remember that Annapolis that was very vocal in chat the entire game? That's the Annapolis down there at the bottom. Considering it got sunk early and didn't do an awful lot, it had... Why didn't it just go back to port? Instead, it just kept commenting on the entire match. Oh well. Welcome to World of Warships. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.